surprised to learn that the only fully professional ballet company outside of Manhattan is in Rochester, New York. Here to talk about the Rochester City Ballet are its artistic director, Robert Gardner, and the executive director, Rachael Cierniakoski. Thank you so much for talking to us today. It's just great to hear about this and such exciting changes coming forward for the ballet company.
Thank you for having us, Eric. We're excited to be here and talk about what we're doing.
Yeah, and so many exciting productions and new venues and new faces and all the good changes happening during a time when the world was pretty much locked down, it seems like.
Yes, yes.
So, Robert, you've been hard at work doing choreography for a beautiful production of Carmen.
Yes, I'm doing my own version of Carmen, the ballet, not the opera. And yeah, it's quite an undertaking. You know, Carmen is a monumental work. It's very familiar. The Bizet score is hummable, and but I'm doing my own take on the story. I'm doing a contemporary ballet version that doesn't necessarily follow a strict libretto. It's more driven by passion and emotion.
And it is Bizet's music that you're using?
Actually, it is an arrangement of Bizet's music by Rodion Shchedrin,
Yeah.
a Russian composer who used Bizet's score to create a ballet score for the ballet in Russia. Um,
Mhm. That's fantastic. Now, Shchedrin, you don't get to hear his music very often here in Rochester,
no, I
certainly.
mean this is definitely after Bizet, but it's even more dramatic, and it's really perfect. Well, he wrote it for ballet. He wrote it so that a ballet could be created for his wife, who was a prima ballerina with the Bolshoi Ballet.
I see. Now, what's the process of choreography, Robert? If you can talk a little bit about that, I think people would be interested to learn. Is there a piece of software that you use, or what's the tool there?
There is software. I don't use it. I haven't used it. For me, it starts with the music. With something like Carmen or something that is story driven, I'll often, like I did with Carmen, I researched and I found the original 17th century novella that told the story of Carmen, and that is what was used to create the libretto for the opera. I listen to the music. I get in the studio and I start to create movement phrases. But the real work happens when the dancers are in the studio with me, because I'm a very collaborative choreographer. I feed off the dancers' energy and their artistic sensibilities, and that is what drives me in my creations.
I was so happy to see that the corps de ballet, the real staple dancers for the company who've been there for many years, beautiful, beautiful artists, are still with you. And
Yes.
it must be exciting to work with. Now, do you rehearse the movements and in an additive way, they just sort of bring to it what you teach them, or you tell them the movements or demonstrate, or
Yes,
how do...
I give them I demonstrate to the best of my
Yeah.
ability the movement that I want. Often I'll just create maybe a 16 count phrase of movement. I'll teach it to everyone. I'll see how it reacts on their bodies. And then from that inspires me then to maybe craft a new phrase, or to recraft that phrase, or to fold that phrase in on itself and have the dancers interpret it in their own way. But always with my hands around it, forming the clay so that it does reflect what I'm trying to put across, as far especially with Carmen, because to me, I told a dancer this the other day, that Carmen isn't a noun, it's an adjective. It is an adjective that reflects passion and individualism, and
And color.
not,
Yeah. And
yeah, and color, exactly, as you can see there in the picture.
yeah. Well, it looks very exciting. And then there's more music on the program. I think Don Quixote is part of that, another passionate tale.
Yes, Carmen, the ballet Carmen is not a four act,
Ah,
like a four-act opera.
I see.
So it was condensed. But it really could be a full evening of music. But I wanted to complement that. So I thought, well, I'll do a very, very classical pas de deux, the bravura pas de deux from Don Quixote, by the music by Leon Minkus. And then in the fall, we had the repetiteur from the Salvatore Trust came in to stage some ballets for us. And she also staged this solo, a female solo that we weren't able to do. And I wanted to bring it to this program because it's the perfect counterpoint to these two very passionate works. This is it's it's a Debussy piece, Dans Slow, and it's a very reflective piece. It was originally choreographed for a ballerina at the a ballet in Canada. She was returning to the company. And here's a little scoop for you, Eric. Um, in our production, in our performance, Jessica Tretter will be performing the premiere, and this is going to be Jessica's last season.
Oh
She's going
my.
to be retiring.
Oh my, oh my. Well,
So
that's
it's the perfect piece to showcase her beautiful dancing, her versatility. I mean, she'll be featured in Carmen. She will also do Don Quixote, not all in the same evening. But I really wanted to bring this solo by Salvatore, who's a very emotional, dramatic choreographer. And the piece just perfectly it showcases Jessica's talent and what she's meant to the
oh,
community
very
here.
exciting. Thank you for that. And now there's more Russian music than in the spring, I think.
Yes, Igor Stravinsky, my favorite.
Yeah. So
the
talk about the
the
Firebird a
monumental
little.
Firebird. This
Yeah.
was a production that I had choreographed, created in Minnesota Ballet. Worked with a visual artist there, so the set is all in the style of Russian neo neo 20th century design. So it is not realistic at all. It's a graphic. It's sort of a graphic design, and that sort of informs the piece. Um, but it follows the traditional storyline of the Firebird. I have always loved Firebird. When I was a student at the School of American Ballet in New York, I was able to be on stage for George Balanchine's Firebird. I was, holding a spear in the background, but it was the most amazing
Yeah.
experience
Oh,
that I had as a young dancer.
yeah.
And I always wanted to do my own version. And I'm really excited to bring it here to Rochester and to the Rochester City Ballet.
Yeah, that's stunning music and very exciting, very dramatic
Yes.
music. Yes, exciting. And then, so this is all your choreography this season. Is this correct?
Well, I am staging Don Quixote, but it is after Marius Patapaa, the great Russian choreographer.
Pedapa. Okay.
So that's going to be very classical and very what you would see on the stages around the world.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
then the
Yeah,
solo Reflections is by Salvatore.
that's right.
But the rest of the choreography for the rest of the season will be mine.
Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Well, congratulations. That's an exciting and challenging season. Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
challenging, and I haven't been able to do that really. I created a piece which ended up being for a virtual performance when my first full season as artistic director in October of 2020. And that was the only one and only time I've been really able to create on the company dancers. So it's been very exciting to be in the studio with them
Right.
creating a new work.
It's exciting to hear about it. Now, Rachel, there are new venues to go with all these new projects too. Is that correct?
That's right. One of the biggest excitements about this season is that we're performing at two new venues. So the theater at Innovation Square in Rochester, they're great. They just took over the old Xerox building downtown. They've done a lot of renovations, adding lights, and it's a perfect stage for us. So we debuted there in October, and we'll be excited to return for Carmen. And then, of course, the Fort Hill Performing Arts Center in Canandaigua. We did get to go to their grand opening in 2020. It was right before everything shut
Yeah.
down. So again, we were excited to be able to bring our productions there. It's a very intimate setting. You're kind of a little close to the stage, and it's a beautifully restored building. So we're really excited to team with these venues and, reach our mission of getting new audiences involved in our art.
Professional dancers can't dance just anywhere on a concrete floor. Do these places have the right floors in them?
Well, actually, we were lucky enough to have a floating floor that we put down at Theater of Innovation Square. So it's not an easy feat, but it certainly gives our dancers the support that they need. And we have a traveling Marley, that's called, that we lay down for, traction with the point shoes and everything. So it's a process to get everything prepped for the performance, but we want to make sure our dancers are presenting their best. And these venues do allow us to do that.
Well, and I've personally seen Rochester City Ballet in a lot of venues around town, and I know you go into schools too. Tell us a little about that.
Yeah, we're really excited to keep our mission going of outreach and education. So today, actually, we're really excited. We kick off a series with the Adelaide Stevenson School number 29 in Rochester. So we're going to go in and weekly teach some classes in their gym class. So we're going to expose some new students to the art of dance. And we're also currently teaching at the Boys and Girls Club. So it's been exciting to get back into the outreach face-to-face with these kids, and they really enjoy getting to experience something new and hopefully become, lifelong patrons of the arts.
And dancers certainly have to start young. That's for very certain.
Oh, yes.
That's great. Now, one staple of the ballet season is Nutcracker. Do you have Nutcracker in your plans as well?
Nutcracker is a must. It's a fan favorite. Families love it. We did do the Nutcracker this year in November with the RPO at the Eastman Theater. And then again, we performed at the Fort Hill Performing Arts Center. So each year we can ensure our audiences can look forward to the Nutcracker.
That's great. And there were 6 performances of that, it seemed like, from your website in 2021.
Yes, so we had a full bill of Nutcracker and it went very well. We had very receptive audiences, and we were actually able to add an additional sensory-friendly performance of the Nutcracker at Fort Hill. Again, very important to our mission to get the inclusivity and have everyone be able to enjoy our performances. So it was a very successful and exciting run for Nutcracker this year. We hope to continue that in our future seasons.
Oh, how exciting. Well, I know, Carmen, seems like you have 6 performances and also Firebird 2 weekends. Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, that's great. So now, what is the website in case people want to buy tickets or find you or learn more?
Absolutely should check out rochestercityballet.org. There's information there about our upcoming performances, how to get tickets, how to get involved, and become a part of our community.
Great. And what kind of volunteer opportunities might you have there, really briefly?
Sure. We have events that we're always looking for help with, things like the sensory-friendly performance. Anybody with community connections or community artists, we love collaborating. So there's certainly plenty of ways to get involved and help us reach our mission.
That's great. And just in 30 seconds or less, could you tell me about the Lift Society? That was a fascinating name.
Sure. The Lift Society, after ballet lifts, we're helping to lift us to the next level. So it's a donor program where you commit to 3 years of donations recurring, and there's a bunch of fun, exciting things that come with that, like being invited to our in-studio sessions, meet and greets with dancers. So it comes with a lot of opportunities if you want to get involved with us on a donation level. Oh,
that's fantastic. And give us that website just one more time in case people want to learn more.
It is rochestercityballet.org.
Well, it's just been great to hear about the exciting plans coming up. Thank you both for coming in today.
Thank you, Eric.
Eric, it's been great.
It's good to meet you both, and best of luck for the season ahead. That's great.
Thank you.
My guests have been Robert Gardner, he's the artistic director, and Rachael Cierniakoski, she is the executive director of the Rochester City Ballet. In the Spotlight is a production of Penfield Television with sponsorship from Nocon & Associates, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Advisors. If you enjoy this program, please find us on Facebook, like and share the program, and find our full playlist on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching.